In Affinity Photo, as well as designer and publisher, you can save material to use in future projects. Now, how to do that? You can use the Assets panel. Just save it to the Assets panel and then you can reuse it at any point in the future. This is PC or Mac. So here is a shape. It could be anything. It could be shape, type, images, etc. So I've selected this one. All you need to do to save it to your assets is find the Assets panel. Just go to Window and Assets. You can see it there. And then with that selected, just go down to this second menu and click here, and anything that's selected will be added. So add from selection. So now you can see it's been quickly added. Well, you might want to add it to a different category. Well, that's this menu. So go up here. There's an option here, create new category. So select that and you can just put a name. I'm just going to go with test 1. Click OK. So look at that. I can now just go here and again down to the second one here. Click here and add from selection. And it's stored here. Now, once it's done there, you can then drag it back at any point. So if you decide to use it later, simply just drag from the assets into the document and you can see you got it there. It's exactly the same. You can drag it again and again and again. Any changes to this design, however, will not affect this. So it's completely independent of that. So just remove that, just delete it. And I've still got this one. Well, you might decide, well, I want this combination. So I've got a design here and I select 2 items like this. I want to save them. Well, you can go over here. Again, you've got this menu here, add from selection. And what happens, it creates 2 items. It doesn't add them together as you've got it here. To do that, let's just go here with them selected, right click and go down to group. You need to group them. So as soon as you group them, you can then go again to the assets. And now when you go here, just click here and add from selection. And now you can see, instead of just split over 2 assets, you've got them added in the way that you probably want them added. And of course, you can create many variations of this and just duplicate it, duplicate this, and then of course, select all those, right click again and group. Once they're grouped, again, go down here, click here and add from selection, and it will add that group as well, a group of a group of a group. So you can see you've got that sort of complex design, which you can then again just drag back. It's absolutely identical. Now you can also use this with, say, live effects as well. So you've got this design. So you've got a design here. You can go to layer and you can go down here to new live filter layer, maybe distort. Let's just go for, say, a twirl, and now twirl, change radius, change there, an angle, change origin point, and you get a design like that. Now it's still live, it's still a vector design. But with this selected, make certain it's selected. You can then, if you go to layers, make certain there, you can see there, you've got the design there. Again, in assets, click here, add from selection. And that effect is also added there. So again, simply go to the assets. If you want to use it again, you can drag it back out again, and so on. And this will be for any future project. So you've got an image, say. So I've got an image here that I created a lot earlier. And I've imported it using the place command. Do exactly the same. Go here again to the assets and go click there and add from selection. And then you can see that's added. And then of course you can just simply drag from there and create multiple copies. You can also duplicate them, maybe make grids, add designs, add effects, or maybe you want to add some type. So just go here, artistic text tool, click text, create something like that. And with this, I'm just got this selected. You can resize it, set the font, all those sort of things. You can set maybe a whole paragraph of text you want to reuse over and over again. Just with that selected there, you can then again go here, add from selection. And you can see again you've got text. Now it's cut off slightly. The thumbnail just shows part of it. If it's very complex, it just sort of gets cut off a bit. And then of course you could add multiple. So again, just drag and drag. I'm holding down the Alt Option key to duplicate this design. So again, select all of those. I can obviously align them. Let's just quickly do that. Let's not. Just simply go here, again down here, that again would have the same problems before. It would create 4 copies, see, those of the text, instead of a group. What I need to do is right click and again group, so they're all grouped into one there, and again exact same, go here, add from selection, and you can see then you get this text down here, and again you can simply drag from there, and every time you do that you obviously create completely independent again. So as soon as you've done that, you can manipulate that, distort it, maybe resize it, maybe rotate it, apply some transforms, apply some effects, so filters, blur and Gaussian blur, maybe not that much, let's blur it a bit and click apply. So you've got this design, exact same with it selected. Just go over here, again you could create a new category, etc. for it. You see it cuts off, so you have to drag that up again, and then you've got this again, click here and add from selection. Now you can rename things as well. You can see there's options here for sorting by name, so you could sort by name. You can also delete items, you can select items. It's a bit fiddly. You can delete asset, and of course if you just want to get rid of the whole lot, you can always go up here in this menu, the top one, and there's options here for delete category as well. So you can link categories, duplicate categories, so if you want to create another category exactly the same and maybe add some additional items, etc. to it, you can also, if you want, export the assets as well. So you can just go to export assets, and in there you can then save it to a folder, and then obviously pass it on to a colleague, etc. And maybe import as well. So if you've got a load of assets, maybe lots of different pictures and things and designs, or maybe lots of text designs that you've saved from earlier, but you didn't want to keep in the assets panel because it's a resource. So you can push, you add too much and it may have an effect, particularly on your Affinity Photo, depending on your machine. You may prefer to keep it fairly clean. Then simply just go here, and then you can always import the assets as well. You might have them stored away in separate files that can then be brought in. And there's other options you can see here: shows list, embed, etc., background, and you can also change the background. Obviously, maybe here, make it light. You can see it maybe slightly better. You can see all the assets stored there. And that is how to use assets in Affinity Photo. Exactly the same approach is in Designer as well as Affinity Publisher as well. And of course, that's another thing you could do. You could export all these assets for use in Designer. And I think that would be a decent enough idea. Now, I don't believe there's any feature here. Please put in the comments below if you do know of a feature to actually stretch it across all the different applications. Be interesting to know that in the comments. So if you do know of a way of doing that, it'd be great. But you can see you've got some options here to do expand, collapse, and create subcategories, etc. However, there is no, unfortunately, move feature, which is one area that would be nice to have added. So you could move an asset maybe to another category. Unfortunately, it appears that you've only got rename and delete there. But let's just click here. You see you can move up and down. So I'm not actually certain you just simply could just drag it like that. That option to move up and move down never seems to be accessible. Not for me anyway. I've never been able to do it, but you can simply select it and just drag it around, move it around. So if you want to tidy it up, maybe have all the images one area, maybe all the text in another area. You can also create subcategories as well. You can see there's an option here for create subcategories. So I guess you could put one for, say, text, as well as images, etc., and maybe shapes, as well as, of course, maybe other things like brush strokes you might want to save there, or live filter effects that you want to use all the time. You might set something up that you can then just access easily from that. Great way of doing that approach. Hope you found this of interest. Questions, thoughts, please put in the comments below. A like or dislike, always appreciated.